Hello, today I would like to give you a perfume review. The perfume I have in my hand by the brand Glossier, and it's called You. I think it's safe to say it's a cult classic at this moment for skin-like fragrances, and I've been wanting to try it for a very long time. However, it wasn't available where I'm living, so I wasn't able to get my hands or my nose on it. But since relatively recently, it has become available at Sephora, and I bought mine beginning of October, and I've been trying it out. So this is a small travel size bottle, as you can see. I think it's a 10 milliliter bottle, and it has the same kind of design features as the original bottle, with the kind of thumbprint here in the right cap and the very light powdery pink. It is in a long small tube, and this cost 32 euros. So Glossier describes the scent as a scent that sits very close to the skin, and it's supposed to enhance the own fragrance, hence the name You. There are a few other versions of this. This is the original one. I've heard that there has been a reformulation actually, so when I say original, I mean the original You scent, not the original formula. I haven't tried that one, so bear in mind that this is a bottle I got in the year 2025. So the top note on this is pink pepper. The heart note is iris, and the base notes are Brett and Ambrose. And again, Glossier describes this as being a scent that's heavier on the base notes, sitting very close to the skin, and thus also smelling a little bit depending on the wearer. I can say that I have another friend of mine who wears this, and it's definitely recognizable as a scent. But I think there is something to that statement that it definitely does also smell a little bit. So let's get into maybe more of a personal review and how I personally would describe it. So I would say at the opening, it's very much of a woody scent to me. The very first time I smelled it in store before buying it, I was quite surprised actually that it didn't smell very pleasant, and I was surprised how so many people would be describing this as a cult scent, a signature scent, and so on. But the more it sits, the more it gets warmer on the skin, and the more interesting notes start to come out to my nose. And I think there is also, let me call it a learning curve maybe. Since the very first time I smelled it, I think I haven't had that reaction to it. And safe to say, like you can see here, throughout my shopping on that day, started warming up and turning into a scent that I liked and wanted to try out. So shadings, and this one is definitely one that fits that description spot on. It really does smell exactly like pencil shading, but in a very, very luxurious and high-end way. So you might know that there are these stationery awards in Japan. That is kind of what this reminds me of. If the pencil would have won the Japanese stationery award for itself a top kind of honor, then the shadings of that pencil could be what this smells like. Very luxury, very kind of high-end and polished. Apart from that, I have to say that I don't pick up on the individual notes so much. So the pink pepper or the iris, I can't really identify them on their own. Maybe I should say that I'm also not the best at identifying individual notes. My nose might not be that trained. That being said, I have tried another perfume with pink pepper as well as with iris, and this Glossier You definitely does smell different from both. And as mentioned, the longer it's on the skin, the warmer it gets to the skin. So maybe that very initial, very kind of woody pencil shading kind of smell dissipates a little bit and it becomes creamier and powdery, I guess, in a way that's more reminiscent of the iris in it, but it never goes away completely either. And I would say there is also a very, very slight kind of lip tea smell in it as well, kind of like a bit of a plasticky lipstick smell, but it's only if I put my nose right up against it, as I'm doing right now. And it's not something I pick up when wearing it throughout the day, when just smelling it through the air. I would call this scent very suitable for all kinds of weather. I've only tried it personally in autumn and in winter, but I can imagine it being very suitable for warm weather as well. Definitely not overpowering, and it's not sticky, sweet, or like very kind of into leaning into the specific seasons, such as coconut or such as cinnamon or something like that we don't really associate with a specific time of year. So I can imagine this being worn all throughout the year. I can also imagine this being worn to any kind of occasion. I've worn it to the office before, I've worn it out going out with friends, and I think it is definitely suitable for any kind of situation. And I think it can also be worn by everyone. I don't feel that this perfume is feminine or masculine or whatever. I do also enjoy unisex fragrances quite a lot, and that's definitely one of them. In terms of how it performs, again, I've heard that there was kind of a bit of a downgrade with the performance and how long it wears after it got reformulated. Of course, I can't attest to that since I've only tried this version, but it actually was surprisingly long wearing in my opinion. I can still smell it faintly after a long day, for example, wearing it to the office. I've mentioned several times the skin scent, so it's very close to the skin. I don't think it's going to be leaving a big trail behind or having a very big scent bubble, so to say, where a lot of people around One thing maybe also mention, which could be interesting for some of you, is that I did once get at least a compliment while wearing this, and I feel like where I live, it's not very common to get compliments on fragrances, so this is not something that happens quite often. And with this perfume, I have at least one fragrance where a colleague of mine gave me a hug and said that I smell amazing. So I can also mention that aspect. And finally, one of the big kind of plus points with this fragrance for me, or one of the reasons why I got it, or otherwise would have been the reason for not getting it, is that it's cruelty-free and formulated with literally in that aspect as well. Um, suitable for people who are paying attention to buying cruelty-free and organic products. So that I would say that is definitely a fragrance that's worth getting your nose on, worth trying. I think it's quite unique in the sense that I don't feel like I have any other similar fragrances in my collection or in the fragrances I've tried before. And I also don't smell it very often, but that could also be because of the fact that I said that this hasn't been available for very long in the area that I live. At the same time, I would like to say that this is probably not a blind buy. It is quite different. It is quite unique. It doesn't smell um, like a typical designer fragrance, for example. I think it's going to be